Hey, what's up? The KABAM live stream just ended literally like 10 minutes ago, and I wanted to go ahead and go over the whole live stream for anybody who missed it because it was a quicker live stream. It was only 40 minutes. Usually they're an hour to an hour and a half, but this wasn't their normal live stream. This was their, I don't know, they don't really have these live streams very often. This just talked about collectives and what that means for the MCOC world, like what that's going to be. Usually their live streams are just their upcoming champs and all that, like the new update. But this live stream is a little bit different, so we're going to go ahead and go over it. So to begin, these are just the announcements. They've been on the screen the whole time. This is just they have it at the beginning of the stream every time. It's just stuff to look forward to or what's coming. And then next we have Blade, the pieces for Blade. Um, Two of them are I've already been live. Or, well, one of them you can't obtain anymore, and then one of them, if you complete Act 9.4 right now, you'll be able to get. And then these three, uh, they're not yet obtainable. So I believe that's how that works. I think you should have two, maybe three right now. But yeah, this is just going over the blade stuff, just kind of reminding everybody to jump in and get all your blade pieces because here in 2 weeks you'll be able to own a Stellar Forge blade. Next up is another smaller thing. It's just the Essentia tuning. Um, they're just increasing it in different game modes, kind of just tuning it to be better, more reliable as a currency because it was kind of sketchy. It didn't really feel right. So they're just kind of working on that, just more tuning. And then we get to, well, this is the last, I think this is the last thing before collectives, and this is just going over Seaton. Seaton was the first person to achieve Elder, which is sick. I love Seaton. He was one of my favorite MCOC YouTubers growing up. He still is one of my favorites, so it's cool to see that they recognize the first title holder. I really do like that. And here we go. Now we're going into the collectives. So, this is kind of the overview. A lot of this doesn't make sense right now, but throughout the stream, you kind of get more and more explanation, and it makes sense. So, the way he explained it is he's there focused on a horizontal roster progression. So what that means is this collective system is not necessarily focused on taking your champs up to rank 4 or rank 5, your 7-star champs. It's just acquiring those 7-star champs or even those 6-star champs. Just having them and literally just having them is what they want. So they want everybody to have a bigger roster, not necessarily have them up at the highest level. So if somebody has 200 rank 1s and somebody has 150 rank 1s but 50 rank 2s, both of them are going to have equal points just because they have the champs themselves, if that makes sense. They say here the highest rarity owned per champion will be the captain. So they have an example here in a little bit. Like Zemo, if you have a 6-star Zemo and a 7-star Zemo, the 7-star is what the points are going to go towards, or what is collecting all those points. The 6-star doesn't mean anything after you have that 7-star, meaning if you have a 6-star Hulkling, you never got the 7-star Hulkling from the event, the 6-star still is fine, but they are pushing for 7 stars. There will be both permanent and temporary collectives. Right now, throughout the stream, we learned of one, and then we learned of the idea of temporary. We don't know what the temporary collectives are, but we do know there's going to be one permanent collective or whatever. All the work you've done on your existing roster will immediately contribute. So basically, just as soon as this launches, you're going to get all the points that you would get if you were to get it in the future, if that makes sense. But yeah, so the captains, this is kind of what I explained. A little bit too far. Zemo, this is like Karate Mike's account. He has all the Zemos, so his Zemo that is counting or points are counting towards is the 7-star. So in my case, my Zemo would be the 7-star. Some people's cases, it would just be the 6-star. It's kind of what captains mean. A lot of this too, we don't really know fully how it's going to work until it is in game because them explaining it does help, but still, it's way different than what it is in game. But next up, we have collective points. So they have a video here, and basically what it means is the way you rank up your champion and gain more points is by singing them up and ascending them. So if you have a Jabari Panther who is not awakened 7-star, and then you have your second account who has a 6200 awakened Ascension 2 Jabari Panther, if they're both rank 1, that second account, Jabari Panther, is going to put more points towards the collective, if that makes sense. They're really focused on signature levels and ascension levels. We'll get more into that later because I believe it's only 7-star locked, though. So if you have a 6-star Baron Zima or a 6-star Jabari Panther, it does not matter what her sig is or what her ascension is. Just that 6-star base level, and if you have her at a higher rank, I believe 6 stars and lower, the ranks are what levels it up, and 7 stars, it's the sig and the ascension. Sorry if I didn't make sense at the beginning, but that's, I believe, how it's going to work.
Let me ask you this:
video.
when you pull a champion and you're like, "Oh, great! I use an awakening gem on this character," and now he goes from one.
That's all. They just talk about it too. And then we have this. It's just another thing that every champion's going to have value. Like I was talking about, your rank 1s are still going to be good. You still should. They still should seek value. So your rank 1 7-stars that have set there since the beginning of 7-stars, they're going to be worth something. That being said, I believe the next one is the class. So this is the permanent collective category. We'll go over the picture here in a second, but obviously there's 6 different classes in MCOC, so there's just going to be 6 different collectives that are permanent until the game basically dies. They will be there. So it's just if you collect a certain amount of champions in that class that are certain collective tags, I believe they will have tags that are collective or whatever. You will earn points towards that. They say these are not meant to be max level right away, so if they're not max level right away on your account, don't worry. These are meant to build throughout the future. You're not supposed to have a max level collective on day 1. These are supposed to last forever. So yeah, it might take forever. Just like level 60 to level 70, it launched a year or 2 ago, and I'm only level 66. Some people are level 67 or 68. That's 2 years for 8 levels. It's supposed to last a while, collectives are. And then we get into, here's the picture. So I'm pretty sure it's just all your champions get added towards it. And then these are the points. This is like the bonus it's giving. It shows it's giving, I guess, plus 2% health. It's probably different in scales with each rank. This is just what we got for now. So this is rank 1 of 25. When you get 5,000 points, I'm assuming you rank up to rank 2. And I don't know if it'll still be at 5,000 points or maybe it's like 6,000 or 5,500, something like that. But there's 25 ranks to get to through each of these collectives. And these are just the first 6. So I'm assuming a lot of people might be around the 8 to 10 mark, I would say. Like my account, I would probably say, depending on the points value, I wouldn't be that far in. This is probably meant to last years before you max out, even like a USAFA roster. So yeah. Then this is just the creator of collectives, the guy that's really worked on it. He just talked about it with Karate Mike for a little bit, and then we got into the Temporal collectives. They were gonna have this at launch, but they decided that'd be too clustered, so they didn't. But this is just gonna be only certain champions will be a part of the Temporal collective. Provide benefits towards that specific group of champions. Benefits focused towards shared abilities. More specific, juicier benefits compared to class collectives. So, an example, this isn't one that's confirmed, but I would say like Hitmonkey, Zemo, Nick Fury. They all have bleeds. That could be a category. Now, these might be more broad or they might be more condensed. I don't know. Nobody knows yet besides the creators. But yeah, that's kind of how the idea is. It's just going to be random things. They said, Karate Mike said it could literally be anything. Maybe it's just one single comic panel that a bunch of characters are on in a random comic. That can be a collective. That's why they wanted these temporary ones, so they could keep adding new and new and new and kind of have content forever. So far, I personally like the idea of collectives. The only thing I'm worried about is, so far, it looks pretty good free-to-play. And then we'll get to the rewards later. It looks pretty good free-to-play, and it looks very favorable for a free-to-play player or somebody who isn't like a grinder who plays the game 24/7. The only thing I'm worried about is in the future, if they try to monetize this and only lock certain collectives behind paywalls. I don't believe they'll do that, but if they do, that's kind of going to suck. Also, like the event we just had, it was basically free to play. You could get a free Human Torch. I'm worried that they're going to change the rewards and try to take away that free good champion and just add like a free collective or something. That's what I'm kind of worried about, that they might try to monetize it. But for now, it looks pretty good for the free-to-play player. The next, they just kind of go over this. It's they just talk about the difference. This slide doesn't really add much more information. They just talk about that temporal collectives are meant to be temporary. They're not meant to last forever. So if you don't get them or whatever, you're not really like that behind with your roster. It's the permanent ones that you really want to focus on. And then they kind of talk about the points. Here's where they mention the points. Each additional rank. Oh, I guess it is each additional. Oh no, it's each additional like rank of 7-star, 6-star. So that's how you get your points. And then each sig level and each ascension level for 7 stars is how you get more points. Because a lot of these collectives are probably going to be 7 stars on current day rosters. If this was 6-star, then it would be like rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 would help, but none of these would help, if that makes sense. And then I believe 33. Yeah, this kind of shows it right here. Each 7-star captain owned 1,000, 6-star 660, and it kind of scales down. So you really want to be focused on those 7 stars. They really, really are focusing on these 7 stars. They say the 6 stars can get you pretty far, but yeah. 1,000 points for each captain, additional points where your captain is ascended, 1 point per signature level. So a max sig ascended champion probably gets you like 1,400 points, or give or take something like that per 7-star. And then they kind of show more about it. It's just more PNGs and just stuff like that. Yeah, it's just they're clarifying more. Each ascension level is 500, so I guess it would be theoretically 2,200 if you had a maxed out character, which is crazy per 7-star. Which if we go back to this picture right here, if it takes 5,000 to level up a champ, you would have to have 3 maxed out champs, or 5,000 to level up a rank. You would have to have 3 maxed out champs to rank up, which is crazy. That's insane. So these really are meant to last forever. And then they kind of show like the difference between the points. If I hide my webcam here, this just shows like if you just got Stellar Forge Starlord to maxing out a sig level, you get a pretty decent bonus. So like mine would be worth almost that 2,000 mark. That's just kind of what that shows. Sorry, the webcam's kind of messing up. All right, there we go.
And simply acquire.
Then we go to, I believe here. Yeah, this shows the 6 stars. The more you rank it up, the more your champion's worth. So like a maxed out 6-star is probably going to be worth like 1,000 points. Or no, it caps out at rank 4. So 830 points for every maxed out 6-star you have, or rank 4 6 stars, which is actually still pretty good. You can rank 4 6 stars pretty easy. But yeah. The ranks, there will be 25 ranks like I talked about. They're individual ranks, so if you rank up your skill, your mutant will still be rank 1 and your skill will be rank 2. It doesn't stack on top of each other. And these are built on your roster since day 1. And then this kind of shows it's like the XP bar to rank them up. Like I said at the beginning, it shows 5,000. So maybe every single level is just another 100 added onto it, which will stack to be like 7,500 at one point, which is a lot. Then class collective bonus. They talk about here, it'll be more than just like cosmetics. There will be like some stuff in game that you get from it, but we'll talk about more like later. Like in a fight, you'll get more bonuses than just like a first edition or something like that. You'll actually get extra damage if you use certain class collective bonus champs, and we'll show that in a future slide, I believe. There's just more benefits. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. This is the benefits. So these are like things you get in the actual fight, not like outside of the game, like the cosmetic wise. These are things you get in the actual fight using champions that you have at a high collective level. Then they show some gameplay. Here they talk about the bonus damage, which I talked about. It'll be in like dark purple, but it'll be really, really big. So they have gameplay here. Where is it at? 43 minutes. Okay, watch this gameplay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. When they have Toad, he has an extra burst. He has already his red burst damage, which every champ in the game, you either have red or white damage. The white damage is like you hitting them. Yellow is like when you crit, and the red is like the extra trauma, overload, all that extra stuff you put onto them. The burst damage.
If you want to take a look at the clip. So here we have Toad, right? It's just a regular 7-star Toad with the stat cast here against Winter Soldier, getting hit a little bit, right? Now we're going for a special one. Watch this, boom! We see a
if we
Soldier getting hit a little bit, right? Now we're going for a special one. Watch this, boom!
See that big purple number? This is usually what the red numbers look like. There's going to be a big purple number adding even more damage. So that's going to make a lot of champs even more viable. So I personally really like this. Now, once again, going back to what I said at the beginning of this video, if they try to monetize this and make collectives behind the paywall, then it's going to suck, because you're going to have whales doing an extra 11K per special one, basically just for spending money, and other people can't get that. Before, whales could rank up their champions quicker, but free-to-play players could rank up those champions and do the exact same damage. Now, it's a little bit different if whales are going to be able to get this and free-to-play aren't, but as of now, it looks pretty good for free-to-play. Then we have a new pre-fight screen showing the collective bonuses.
You have active for your chosen champion. So down here we have...
This shows that there's 25 benefits. What those benefits are, we don't know yet. It could be like literally one block proficiency or something like that. It probably won't be much, but as you get more and more, it'll probably scale higher and higher and higher. And this is probably that same fight where he did do 10K. So it all depends on what those benefits are. But that's kind of how you know you're using a champ that is a collective or that has a lot of collective benefits. Then we have two more things. We have the rewards, which this was sick. Ascension was really, really crappy at the beginning, but it's becoming really, really good because all these collectives that you're going to be building up for free, basically, just by having opening crystals for the past, I don't know how many years this game's been out, you're going to have an insane roster filled with champions that can be used towards collectives to get Ascensions. So, he says there are hundreds of empowered crystals through the first 25 ranks and solo objectives. He's not lying. I think there's like 300. We'll go to that slide in a second. As you rank your collectives, you'll not only gain stat and gameplay benefits, but crystals to progress your roster and build out your collectives further. So, that being said, right here, this is nuts. Rank 10, assuming rank 10 in all 6, you'll get 150 empowered crystals, 40 empowered crystals through a solo objective, which I'm assuming you unlock once you hit that rank, and then 1 greater empowered crystal. That's just for rank 10 in all 6. We don't know how easy rank 10 is, so like I said, rank 10 can be a thing that takes a month, 2 months, maybe a year, or it can take a week. Especially right now, when it launches, all the people's roster will add all those points together, and it'll accumulate points to the rank ups. So, at the beginning, it's going to be easier to hit rank 10 than it is 15 and 25, so you'll have all those champs already. But every 5, so I believe it's every 5 that's 10. So rank 15, you get another, this is including 150, so you'll get another 120, and then you get 40 more in these solo objectives, and then I don't know if this is 2 more, because this is solo objectives, or this is 3 more, because I know these are stacked. But if you don't get any more of the solo objectives, that's kind of weird. Anyways, maybe this is just solo objectives that happens when it launches. And then rank 25, you get another 120. You get 6 empowered crystals, greater empowered, which these are Ascension crystals. When you open one of these, you're guaranteed an Ascension. And then you get 3 from the sole objective. So I don't really know how the sole objective is going to work, but as of now, looks like you're going to be getting a lot of Ascensions for free if you have a lot of collective champs. The final thing I want to talk about here is the launch. It is launching in May 6th to be exact. That is, I believe, the day the update rolls out for May. So at the beginning of that update, we will have this, and yeah, I believe that's the launch day, or the week before, or the week after. It's really close to the launch day of that update. To summarize, there will be 6 permanent class collectives. Earn collective points by progressing your roster. Collective benefits will be active in all game modes. Additional collectives will launch in the future. Kind of like what we talked about all throughout the whole stream, or all throughout the whole video. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about collectives. I really do like the idea of collectives, because I like collecting champs. If you watch my live streams, you know I'm always hunting for new champions. I love collecting every champ in the game, so I really like the idea. I really hope it stays like free to play or how it is right now, because it looks very free to play friendly. But yeah, I like this. I don't think it can hurt the game in any way. Like Ascension obviously did hurt the game a little bit. This, I don't see it hurting the game. I think it only adds things. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Also, I forgot to talk about, I can't believe I completely forgot about this. Where's he at? Ghost Rider. How did I forget about this? We have our first look at Ghost Rider, ladies and gentlemen. Look how cool he looks. He looks sick. He looks absolutely sick. I really hope we get the gameplay soon. It's probably going to be in the next month's live stream, but holy crap. Ghost Rider looks sick. He has one of the best looking pictures out of all these, Ghost Rider's my favorite, for sure. That was the first thing I noticed when we talked about the collectives and the ranks and all that, was this sick ass Ghost Rider picture. Hopefully his gameplay loop and all that is really good. I'm assuming just by this he's going to have like the Hellfire and the Nova Flame mechanic that people have been talking about that they really want from him. So he's probably going to be a great Dark Phoenix counter. But yeah, now I'm going to end it here on this great Ghost Rider picture. But yeah, please let me know in the comments what you think, or the comments what you think of collectives. If you like it, if you dislike it, just let me know your overall thoughts. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.